Shalom and welcome to Word of the Father. I'm just going to do a short video on how to bear the witness with the equipment that you have. And that equipment is your scriptures. Now this is a NIV. Now I choose to use this NIV because it's the only one that our Christian brothers would understand. And it's still got some of the mistranslations in it. And what I'm going to show you is if you have one of these and you're willing to scribble and write on it. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, how I've done it is I've put a couple of things in category. I don't know if you guys can see it. I put the Father's name in green, the name of the Messiah in green. I've put the Torah, anything to do with the Torah or laws in blue. And then I've got the Old Testament and New Testament in orange, and then I've got the feast in pink, and anything that's highlighted in yellow, anything that's pagan there with a cross symbol of the pagan in green, and then any contradictions in purple, and mainly sin, lawlessness, or things that they think that is abolished is in purple. So I underline everything in purple. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly zoom in, let you guys see how I've done it, and you guys can see like that. Okay, and as we go along through the scriptures, say for example, look, I'm not a smart man. I can't remember a lot of the things, but say for example, I need a Bible verse. And so, for example, I open this one, and this one says, if anyone turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayers are detestable. So, in one way, that blue there helps me to, when I'm talking to a Christian, and I have to flip through the scriptures to see whereabouts I need to make reference to something. And so, for example, I need to learn to do about the feast. You know a lot of... See, so there's all the greens that mentions the Father's name, and then let's go to the feast. So, and anywhere that's underlined with red, that is the words of the Father. So, for the words of the Messiah and the words of the Father, I've underlined that red. Okay, and so for example, all the feasts will be in pink. All right, so. Let's say, okay, let's go. It's not good. Okay, so for example, that page there. Alright, so let's go to the pink and see what it says. It says, during the Feast of Tabernacles. So if I need to make reference to something, I just go there. And in blue is talking about the law. So, at the end of the evening, and then that's where it tells me that is a law or a commandment of Yehovah. And so that's how I use it. Turning to the New Testament, Acts, especially the book of Acts, makes reference to a lot of the laws. So, for example, circumcision according to the custom taught by Moses. So, if I'm witnessing to a church, a brother, I use this. And all the ones in orange is a reference to the Old Testament, okay? So there's another reference, and here in Romans chapter 4, verse 31, do we then notify the law by this faith? Not at all. Rather, we uphold the law. So there we go. So this is one of the things I use to witness to our brothers and sisters in the church. And this is what I bring along to news. So, at the end of the day, I make a lot of references at pages where it's blank. Put a lot of the information there so that you can have verses and the name of the Father and things like that, and key things that NIVs don't put in, for example, like the feast days, things like that. Get a good concordance at the back. So at the end of the day, use your scriptures, and use them and highlight them, and so that people like myself who are not very we're educated, but my memory is very short. Having 4 children, I can't remember things very well. And in order for me to witness and to flick out, we've done a lot of times just reading the scriptures and highlighting the things that I need to news as a reference to when witnessing to our brothers and sisters in the church. For example, I've just opened this one, Exodus, and it's all highlighted in blue there. So, now the things that's highlighted in blue, how long will you refuse to keep my commands and instructions? So as I'm talking to Christians, I just flick along and find a blue one, and then this is the words of the Father underlined in red. I'll tell them, and he says to us, how long will you refuse to keep my commands and my instructions? So there we go. So at all time, we don't need to use our own self-thinking. We just have to open the scriptures and show our brothers and sisters in church that these are the words of the Father, and they alone should be upheld, have more weight above all else. Okay, shalom, and thank you for watching again.